Oh, good people. Good people, what's up? What is up today, good people? As you can see, Mike Brown was fired, and a lot of people are going to look at DeRozan Fox and say Fox is the reason he's gone. Let's look at why this took place. Mike Brown was just coach of the year a season and a half ago. He took this team who hadn't been in the playoffs in 17 years to they won 48 games. Then, on top of that, got them into the play-in to get back to the situation, get back in it. And then they come front line and center to this season, and they're struggling. Now, in June, he just signed an extension with the team. And while they got a 5-game losing streak or a 6-game losing streak, they lost a 19-point lead yesterday and lost the game. Costing me my money in the process. But it was bigger than that. Now, talking with his coaches, talking with everyone yesterday, the team did not really normally come together like they normally do. So he went to individually talk to the members of the team, Mike Brown, which seemingly was his last time coaching. And the team, and no one knew this was going to be the case. Because why would you have the man go through practice, go through the whole progressions of getting the team together, getting ready to get on the plane to go to Los Angeles to play the Clippers? Why would you have him prep the team, go through the process, the whole nine, if you're going to fire him? That's the part to me that doesn't make any sense. It might make sense to a lot of you. To us, it don't make sense. It's an alarming factor that we saw what happened in Toronto when the coach of the year got fired. And he became the Pistons coach. But he's getting an award for coach of the year, and he's fired for the team he was just coach of the year for. It didn't make any sense. Then they bring Nick Nurse in, and they win a championship. When the problem is the same reason that they got over there right now. The same reason that coach got fired after getting coach of the year is the same reason you're fired right now, Mike Brown. DeRozan. DeRozan is on your team. That is why you're losing. Whoever decided to spend the money to bring DeMar DeRozan on the Sacramento Kings is the reason this team is going down the drain. When you got that man on your team, you are not going to win. He's not a winner. He doesn't know how. He's just sitting there with Malika Andrews crying about mental health. And then I get those demons and then my cold feet come back. This is why you're losing. You have ballers over there, guys who, when down the stretch, they want to go get it. This guy don't want that. He want to go to the free throw line. He don't want anything like that on his level whatsoever. Now, they can say what they want, and they can go and say, well, he blasted Fox in the post-game interview. He was supposed to. I would have said him by name. I'm like, I don't know why Fox would reach his hands out and grab somebody shooting a three. That's dumb. And it's true what he said in the beginning. He wasn't calling him out. He was stating the truth. He said, I hadn't seen the tape yet, but I know what we were supposed to be doing, so I don't understand why we were in a hard-closed situation. A hard-closed situation, meaning you're guarding somebody going to the basket. So you giving up a lot of space going to the basket, because you're trying to protect. So if they're shooting a three, you got to close real hard because you're protecting going to the basket. They need a three to tie. So if they want to drive to the basket, let them do it. So we should already be on the three-point line. So there should be no reason for a hard close. That is what he's saying. I don't know why there was a hard close. There's no need for it. We should already be on the three-point line, everybody. So it's common sense if you play basketball. If they drive by you to go get a bucket, let them. Good. God bless you. But because of this new soft-ass era, mental health era, we can't do that. We can't go on the podium and say all these things, and now the team is, you're calling out the star player, and that's the thing. DeRozan Fox wanted and demanded a trade. Fox wanted a trade. He went to the organization after the game and earlier that morning and requested a trade. Either he go or the coach go. And then they sat there and had that conversation, knowing Fox had already had this conversation with the ownership and the general manager. He had already had this conversation about he's not happy here and he trade him before the deadline because him and coach ain't going to be able to get through the season. He love it here, but he don't love it that much to put up with that. And after talking to the coach, he's out here doing shoot around and having a conversation with him, and he's explaining himself. They hadn't even, general manager haven't even spoken to him yet. He has no idea he's going to get fired. Yes, the Raptors trade him for Kawhi to win a championship. He was the problem. Now, Fox, in my estimation, is also a problem. You got two problems on the team. DeMar DeRozan and De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox has not evolved his game. He's somebody who came in as raw talent, but he's a one-on-one basketball player. You have a team around you. You have to make them better. You're already undersized as a team. So not having the size, you have the speed and you have the talent. You have to run all these teams down. So adding a 38-year-old guy who only shoot mid-range jump shots and slow the damn game down in DeRozan isn't going to help your team. He can come off the bench, which, again, he's not going to want to do at 38. It's real stupid signing DeRozan to that contract and giving him that money. Well, DeRozan, the thing is this. Oh, they'll want to go. They'll love for Fox to go to the Lakers because he crushes them. Fox is an amazing talent of a basketball player, but he has to evolve his game to move the ball around, and he has to move without the ball. He has to work. I don't feel he works enough for my liking. He's a on ball guy. And he tries to be like Kyrie Irving, but Kyrie Irving's game is more advanced. Kyrie Irving would break a defender down and distribute the ball. Fox just want to shoot all the time. He want to go one-on-one. He want to mix you up. He want to get there, shoot a mid-range jump shot. And it's like, come on. I can see that down the stretch. Game on the line, you want to take the last shot. Who don't? Well, we know a couple players that don't. All right. The Detroit Pistons are beating teams they weren't supposed to beat. They weren't supposed to beat the Kings, and I didn't even bet on the Pistons. I bet on the Kings because I said, man, the Pistons ain't gonna get this, and they were down 19 points, and they blew the game. Pistons playing like we coming to get it. Sabonis adding to this team was the missing piece. He needs to be the guy. He's the guy who could pass out of the post. You need to have him touch the ball almost every time you come down the court. Fox can't be doing one-on-one top of the key basketball all night. That's not winning games. You know, there's a difference between, you know, scoring a lot of points and winning games. You know, Jordan was incredible in the 80s, but he wasn't winning a lot of games. He'll win enough to get to the playoffs, but they were in like the 6 seed, 7 seed. You know, they were around that area. They'll win like 40-something games, but then they're going home in the first or second round. They go up against Detroit, they're done. You know, the party's over because Detroit played 10 guys, and you're one guy trying to beat 10. It's not going to work. So I look at things a little different. You know, I see what I see when it's progressing in a certain direction to where people don't like it. And I understand why they don't like it. Because it shouldn't have happened. Because the coach isn't the problem. If DeRozan Fox wanted to trade, we're going to do the trade. Okay, where you want to go, sir? DeRozan Fox getting off this team. And now you got Barack Obama clone, Doug Christie, is going to be the new head coach. So now you're going to have to pay out Mike Brown the rest of his contract each season because you just signed him to an extension in June. And the coaches have this whole committee, right? The coaches union. And all the coaches like Steve Kerr, you know, and then you got Mike Malone. They don't care about what it looks like, what it appears to be. That's not their concern. What something appears to look like and what it appears to be, they don't care about that. You know what they care about? Results. Winning. That's what they care about. Now, well, the whole world can see things in a different light. Because that's all they're going to do is see it in a different light. Oh, my fantasy quarterback is playing right now. Oh, yeah. That's a touchdown. Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Show out, Herbert. Show out in my championship game. Fantasy football, baby. 26-7. Herbert is showing out. 40-yard touchdown bomb. Woo! Somebody in trouble tonight. I can seize the trophy. The trophy, I seize it coming in. Oh, McLaren, my Mike Evans, Saquon Barkley, Taylor, McBride, Enchan, and Elliott. Let's go. We're finna close this out. This is going to be the biggest blowout in the history of championship fantasy football, as I'm over here back-to-back chips. Okay. All right. Enough of that. Y'all like, we ain't here for that, see, though. We here for Mike Brown. Mike Brown tries to coach the way an assistant coach would coach a team. He's saying he's a good assistant, but he's not a good head coach. No, he's a great head coach. And the thing about him is that he coached old school. He coached the game as it's being played. And that's something most of these coaches can't do today. See, in Cleveland, Mike Brown wasn't allowed, when he was the head coach, he wasn't allowed to make certain decisions. Now, when he got with the Lakers, he tried to tell Kobe Bryant something that Kobe Bryant didn't want to hear. That's just all that was. You tried to tell Kobe Bean Bryant something he did not want to hear. You made a change in the play that did not sit well with Kobe Bean Bryant. So that's what got him out of LA quick. They were not going to make it. Right. The Kings fans are not happy about it either. They don't believe he was the problem. When DeRozan and Fox was hurt, the Kings was winning games. The Kings was sharing the ball more, and they were winning games. They need a point guard that understands that I can't have the ball stick to me. All right, we got to get movement going. When you got and made the trade for Sabonis and got rid of Buddy Hield, which was your biggest problem, was him in the first place, and y'all let the wrong guy go, and y'all stuck with Buddy and paid Buddy the money, I'm like, that's the guy that got to go. Buddy Hield is the one that's got to go. He's limited. He needed somebody that's going to move that ball around. And so getting Sabonis out of Indiana was the best thing for him, because that guy is so valuable to a team. Because he can pass out of the post. He can create his own shot. He can see the whole court. He can pass and make everybody game and life easier. And that's when Sacramento started to take off, and they were a threat to every team in the West, especially Golden State. You lose key elements of your team, and when you lose those key elements on your team, it changes the factors and the way people look at you, the way you're perceived, and the way they're moving going forward. All of that has changed forever. DeMar DeRozan, to me, is the problem of the team. And as long as he is in the way, in my opinion, because he's in the way, Fox and him are a problem. Fox got to buy in and understand that it's not always about you. You want to demand a trade, you unhappy, cool. We're going to get somebody in here that's going to work with you. The core of it is the coach. You don't let the coach go. And you don't send a 38-year-old player to that kind of money. Like, what was he going to do? What is he going to teach Fox? He's an on-ball, slow guard himself. DeRozan. One-on-one, mid-range shot. He's not going to lead you to a championship He's not going to get you to the playoffs. Not now. The way the style of this team and the way he plays, it's not going to fit. And sure enough, it doesn't fit. When he's in the game, and they go to, we need a sure basket. They go to him. He slow everything down. Then they got to get back out there and run. You got Clam Chowder out there. Clam out there still doing what he do. And now Doug Christie is going to be the answer. When the problem was never this. The problem was simple. The problem is we got players who don't like the direction the coach is saying, hey, we need to do this to win. Everybody got to sacrifice to win. Isaiah Thomas won the first little man to ever win a championship and lead a team to a championship, had to sacrifice his game. And the way that Mike Brown was fired shows me about this diversity thing in the NBA doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. All this diversity, we're so diverse. Where? Where? It doesn't exist. It's a myth. They're not talking about diversity. They're talking about all of this craziness that's going on. No, it's crazy. $17 years. I wouldn't even say 15, 17 years. And they couldn't even make it work. Why? Because you got a lot of people acting like fools. And I'm glad D-Rose, what he said, Debo's at home. Y'all didn't deserve him neither. Well, Toronto didn't deserve him. They didn't want him. No, they did Mike Brown wrong. And it's always the coach's fault when it's not working. Mike Brown, when they was winning games, Mike Brown was the savior. Now all of a sudden it's Mike Brown's fault because you're scared to address what the real problem is that you got baby players, pacified players, and we got to cater to the player. That's the problem. Light the beam. I know. Fox doesn't care about DeMar. Man, it's not just that. It's just the way they're playing the game is so screwed up. And then you're going to end up losing these guys. Like guys like Monk changed the game around. Monk came in and had to alter his game when De'Aaron Fox wasn't there and he was out. So black coaches got a leash, and yeah, it's very short. Absolutely. White coaches, they don't want them on a leash. Casino knows everything. That's right. You're absolutely right, buddy. Yeah, but Mike Brown is known for getting checks to sit on the bench. Believe me, don't feel sorry for Mike Brown though, because Mike Brown is paid. Mike Brown is super paid. That man was getting 3 checks at one time. Three checks at one time. He was getting paid by the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Golden State Warriors. And he was winning NBA championships. He had 3 NBA championships coming in. Casey Jones was a player coach. He played for the team. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Bill Russell, he was a player coach. What did that get him? DeRozan Fox demanded a trade, and the ownership said, "Hey, we're looking to make a move with the coach anyway. We're thinking about reevaluating the coach. It's not just you. It's a lot of players that's unhappy, and this thing doesn't look like it's going to change. And then we're going to end up changing direction. Hold on. Let's see what's going on here." Yes. Yes. Okay, for the moment. Yeah. All right. Sorry about that. Had to dip out. Had to take care of some business. The mold guy is here. So that was the situation. He's here to inspect the mold. You guys know what happened here. So, you know, you got to spend a lot of money when stuff can happen. Christmas time, they don't care. Oh, yes, sir. The Steelers don't fire coaches. They've never fired a coach in the history of their organization. Mike Tomlin is not getting fired. The Steelers have had 3 coaches in their history of their organization. They don't fire them. And you know what? They end the playoffs every year. The Steelers are in the playoffs. They don't miss the playoffs. Well, Steve Kerr made that assessment. You know, a lot of people are upset about the termination. Oh, absolutely.
On the firing of Mike Brown.
Awful. Yeah, awful. And the reason I say that, Matt, is so we're going into a meeting this afternoon. And, you know, the good thing about me is that I'm not on social media. I'm not aware of what's going on outside these walls sometimes. I've had an office with no windows for 10 years. It's probably taken off 6 years of my life. And I go into the meeting and the coaches say, "You hear about Mike Brown?" And I said, "Why? What happened?" They said he got fired. And at first I was really shocked and surprised. Then I caught myself. So why am I shocked and surprised? For 2 reasons. One, because as an NBA head coach, ultimately you're going to get the blame. When they win, it's going to go to Sabonis and Fox. When you lose, it's going to go to Mike Brown. That's the way it works. And 2, who he works for. So I'm not surprised that Mike Brown got fired because I got fired by the same person. And what really pissed me off about it was the fact that they lost last night, 5th game in a row, I believe. Tough loss, fouling a jump shooter. They have practice this morning. He does his post-game media, and he's in his car going to the airport to fly to LA, and they call him on the phone. No class, no balls. That's what I'll say about that. Thanks, everybody.
And that's why I like Mike Malone. It's the people in the front office that's going to have to go.
Hi, guys.
The people in the front office are the problem, and they're not going to fire themselves. The scenarios are never blowing. Like they say, the winds of change are blowing in a new direction. Well, when are those directions are going to blow in a change that matter? We haven't been seeing that lately. Yeah, and it's bad and it's hurtful because the game is supposed to be going in a different direction altogether. And you haven't been seeing that. Hmm. That's because they haven't been honest with themselves. They're still stuck in the past. They're holding on to a memory of something that doesn't exist. The game ain't going back to how it was in 1990s. They're not going back because they can't go back. Hmm. And it's completely done. Like everything got to go. Hmm. Well, this is why no one's dedicated to an organization. You'll be crazy. Of course. Unless you know you are in a good organization. It depends on what kind of structure your organization has. Nah, he wasn't fired by analytics. He was fired because of what happened with them. They don't want to lose DeRozan and Fox. So they're like, well, we're gonna go ahead and trade and get rid of the coach. They fumbled Halliburton. Halliburton had to go. I mean, if it was Fox and Halliburton, who would you gonna keep? You can't have both. If Halliburton was running the team, they would still have the same problem. He's a on ball dominant person too, who's slow. He fits Indiana though. But then they just lose by 50. Yeah, Mike Malone just said it perfectly. He was fired by the same people, and the way they did it was disgusting. He was no balls. They fired him on his way to the plane. Kaminga got his minutes cut for refusing to sign an extension. Exactly. Fox is next. Yeah, I know. People never understand how important role players are. Terrence Davis was there and Monk. That was a deadly combination coming off the bench. Um, not only that, No, not only that, it's even worse. The fact that makes it even worse is the Nuggets lost Bruce Brown, KCP, and that has definitely injured the team because your Bruce Brown was an on-ball defender. So losing him has monumental effects. It's very damning. So to lose that altogether, you're looking at a situation that just don't make any kind of sense. You don't want to lose depth. Mm-hmm. Memphis was really good, and they were even better 2 years ago. The fact that Ja Morant kept getting hurt slowed the team down. What Ja Morant provides is energy and pace. He's so fast, you got to keep up with him, and you got to pay attention to him, which opens the game up for everybody else. But now, when he goes to the bench, Scottie Pippen Jr. can come in and he plays a different type of game. He's a guy that's going to make sure he gets the ball to everybody else, check all the boxes, and if he's not there, he can knock down his shot. I don't think the Pistons are going to beat Joker. Joker is too much for them. That's what I think. Joker's too much for them. And, Murray's got his hand cut out for him. I mean, his job cut out for him, but that's it. What's that? McNair? Monte McNair? That's the general manager of the Kings. And when Vlade Divac was there, it was an entirely different situation. But now Monty is there. It's a little different. They never fired Vlade. He stepped down. Well, that's the thing. I might not be around for that game. So a lot of stuff going on here. The mold guy just came here and said, this is bad. This whole thing got to go. Mm-hmm. I just know one thing's for sure, two things for certain. If Clutch Sports had anything to do with the departure, I don't think so. I think that's a Fox decision. But you never know. Fox, Clutch could have told Fox to ask for a trade. And Rich Paul and all of those guys said, hey, ask for a trade. Tell them you want to be traded so we can try to get you in LA. But here's the problem. The Lakers can't afford De'Aaron Fox. See, that's the part that don't make a lot of sense. Even if you trade for D'Lo's contract, you're going to have to give up, Reeves too? That's not going to make your team better. We're going to go into that on the Nate Jones story. Nate Jones got his story, the Nate Jones story. Follow that page on YouTube. We're going to talk boxing over there. He's got a membership too you can sign up for. But anyway, that's what's up right now. It's like what's going on with the situation, with the coach, the whole nine. So as more things develop, Doug is in there. Doug Christie is the coach for right now. They might make him the head coach permanently. He used to call the games and be an announcer and all that stuff. So now he's actually doing what he's doing. Yes, I'm very much so happy about the said situation. Damn it, he ran the ball in instead of passing it. I'm not happy about that. No, Jackie Christie. Oh yeah, man. Shoot, that's the first NBA wife I ever seen join her husband in a fight, both beating up on Rick Fox. That's gonna go down in history. No, that's why they created Jack. When they put Jackie Christie on there, I'm like, oh, they better be careful because somebody can get hurt. Because Jackie Christie is crazy. Oh yeah, I might do a panel today before I get up out of here. But I got a lot I gotta take care of here because the mole guy found the mole in there, so we gonna have to take up all the carpet. That stuff is under the carpet as I suspected. And we're going from there. All right. Thank you, and I'll talk to you later.